Sorry about missing yesterday's stream. I had let too many things build up on the weekend. Too many chores, and I had to get some done yesterday. So, but we are back at it today, and we are going to try to get as much of this finished as I can. We'll see how that goes. Gonna make up some more yellow. Just real quick, pull this back a little bit so you can see. Got a blob of yellow. Got a blob of yellow. Internet's being lame again. Gonna get this yellow mixed up real good. Then I wanted to get these guys. Well, the trick is going to be painting these guys up without getting yellow paint on everything else. And that was the easy side. Now I gotta get from this direction. I don't even know how I'm gonna get that angle, but we'll figure it out. Yellow on there, get a little yellow on these pipes coming out here. Maybe even this wire. What else? Maybe the top of this thing. Just to try to bring in some of the other colors that are on. Let's try to, I guess, get it to match kind of with the rest of the board. It'll have the blue, it'll have the green, it'll have the red, it'll have the yellow. It's all right. Do I need to touch anything up? Maybe I'll make this door yellow too. Now, just to get more of this done, I'm going to switch back to this piece. I'm going to touch up this yellow that I did yesterday, just to try to brighten it a little bit. Just trying to make that yellow pop a little bit more. Alright, how about for this guy? No, that guy's pretty good. That one just needs to get some brown wash on it. I'm gonna put a blob of white on my. Morning, everybody. Sorry, I didn't even see that people had joined me. Put a blob of white doing my shade up to mid-tone. So back to this guy. Really needs the shading. Basically said that all the light is going to be coming from this area. So we need to put this mid-tone all over the side. I'm going with a little bit higher of a highlight, more white. Just going it into there. I do have to do something about that, and I suppose candles are off-white, right? So let's see if I can't. I'm just getting in here and I'm trying to get a little bit of this off-white onto where I feel like the candles or wax are dripping. So what I'll do then, my plan is to cover this all with wax. I'll be right back. Just had to check, make sure the Underhive wasn't collapsing above me, because that's what it sounded like. So back to this. I'm just trying to do some like off-white on the candles. So unfortunately I'm going to be spinning this all over the place to be able to get to each side of the candle. But so my theory here is that I can do all of these little candles. I'll bring it closer to you. So I got all of these candles, even some on the dude's head. Just focus. Yeah, so do those in off-white and then wash the whole thing in oil wash to bring the little details back out, right? And then go back through and do a dry brush of, you know, an orange, a red, an orange, a yellow, a white, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the best at painting like lighting like that. I'm good at shading stuff. I don't know. I guess that's my fear talking. Fear of trying something and having it not work out. That's probably the reason I've never really made candles, because they're really easy to make. But the fear of like trying to paint them right, that's kind of a thing. But we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna face our fears. Okay. Might need a little bit more white for this. Mixing paint, mixing paint. So yeah, I did look up like some tutorials on how to do OSL and all of that. I have on multiple times attempted it. This way of shading, of like the wet blending, that that just like comes naturally for me. So I do feel like it's a little bit more difficult for me to I guess it just does with acrylics, doing like layering, that is a lot more difficult for me. So I have a tendency to, you know, lean on your crutches, whatever you're good at, that's what you stick to. And I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to just get better at whatever I'm doing. And I have, like, I see the improvement with trying to experiment. I got to this point in my hobby existence where I was like, I don't care if I don't experiment. I'm not gonna be having fun, and I'm gonna be putting it down again, right? Like, because that's one of the things that happens to in the hobby is you meet some people, you are hanging out with a group of people that play this game, so you start playing it and you get really into it, you build yourself an army, a gang, or whatever, and terrain and all this other stuff, and then maybe that group kind of falls apart, maybe there isn't, maybe the store closes, maybe whatever, for some reason that isn't happening anymore, and you kind of fall out of it. I feel like that happens a lot of times too, because you do try to just play the same game, so you don't have to build more models. You don't have to build new terrain. You just get to the point where you can play that one game and you're good. But then when that game stops being played around you, you don't have anybody to play it with, then for me what happened was I just kind of got out of the hobby, packed up my stuff. I still built terrain because it's kind of like it's one of my happy places to just be gluing garbage together, but I basically put it down, didn't pick it up for years. So I've learned that if I experiment while I'm doing things and I keep pushing my own limits, then I'll discover things that I like, that I'm enjoying, or things that I need to practice at, and so I'll continue. So I'll practice at that. Like I don't have anyone playing this game with me anymore. I don't really want to do anything else. I'm, kind of feeling that hobby burnout. It's like, if you want to learn another language, you need to practice. If you want to, be the best painter in the world, you need to practice. And that means painting shit that you don't want to paint. That means building stuff that you don't want to build. That's part of it, right? So now I'm just trying to get all the little spaces that might have missed down in here, because I do want it to look like a bunch of melted wax. So try to get these detail ones sitting up on this guy's shoulder. Little bit of a thicker coat on this waxy stuff. While I'm here as well, there's some other little details on this. There's a little scroll piece right here. You guys can't see nothing. I'll bring you in a little closer. Hopefully I won't hit the camera 100 times, but I might. So there's a little skull right here. A bunch of finger bones or something. some scroll scroll work going on here too. So we're just gonna get a little bit more of that yellow, mix it in with the white for our scroll. I gotta tilt this just a little bit. Try to get these little notes or whatever, prayers to the machine god, prayers to the sump pump that it keeps running and that it doesn't flood. The underhive doesn't flood. That's what I need. I need a little prayer shrine to the pipes over there so they don't start spilling water out again. I am going to get a little bit more white on here. Try to blend in a little white on this. That's good. Might try to do a little blending and cool. I'm good with it. Next, really, for all of these, I just need brown. I need a bunch of brown. So. I'm going to take any excess paints off my palettes. Just put them all on this one. A bit more blue than that. See what that gets us. Mixing paints, mixing paints. There was a bunch of extra white, so this might be a little bit more gray. Too much red. we need a bunch more yellow. Mix and paint, mix and paint. Yellow ochre in there to bring it back down to the brownie because it's still very red. Yeah, actually, mixing paint is one of my favorite things to do. I think that's what, like, uh, yes, color theory is bizarre. I remember being a kid, my dad is an artist, and he did, like, a lot of airbrush. So he would let me, like, mix colors in the little, uh, like, shakers. And I just remember being incredibly fascinated by if I put this color with this color, but then I put a drop of this color, it changes it completely. I don't know. Super cool. Well, this pumpkin tan is going to be some of what I'm putting, a little bit of what I'm putting down on this dirt stuff, I think. Just because that's where we are. Again, this is going to get, a black wash like I did to the other one. So you can see that how the base turned out here. So even though this looks quite bright, it will be toned down. I'm actually gonna zoom you out because I'm gonna be moving this thing around so much that you're never gonna get a good view on it. What's up, Stan? Don't you want to cooperate? Absolutely not. Yeah. That might be better. That might not. Move this closer. There you go. No, that's worse. Can't even see what I'm doing. I was trying to get you a little height so you could see down a little bit because this is all just going on, you know, the top of stuff. kind of go through here and get as much of this as I can before I run out of this brown, because that's inevitably what happens. I don't know if I'll be able to do all 3 of them with it. I am watering it down just to make sure that I get pigment all down into the recesses of this. I can always go back and hit it with a dry brush later, even after the oil wash, if I need to make some of the texture pop a little bit more. So instead of wanting like brush strokes, I don't mind if there's like dirtiness all over this, but I don't really want the brush strokes. So I'm just gonna go hit it with, smear it down with my finger a little bit. That's looking pretty good. I'm gonna change your view a little bit. That's a good view, huh? No, that's not. But there we go. Now you can at least kind of see from top down, because that's really where the money's at. So I am going to try to shade in all this stuff, but I'm going to do it with a little bit of a runnier, a little bit more transparent, just so that this blue sticks out from behind it as well. It will also make it look more drippy, and again, I don't really want the brush marks. Trying to get the rest of this base filled in, and then I'll move back up to the top. Start up here. And the reason that I did the bottom first is because I wanted that thicker, the brighter, less watered down pigment down there on the bottom. I really wanted it to be more bold on the bottom. Up here it can get a little bit more watery and transparent because all of this is painted. Like all this blue that's painted. I don't mind if I get a little bit extra there and it's kind of transparent, showing the blue through it. That has a cool effect. But I don't necessarily want that down here on the bottom because I want it to cover it better. This is what I'm trying to say. better coverage on the bottom. It can be transparent on the top. That will actually benefit it. Plus, once you start running out, you kind of have to water it down a little bit anyways. So that's why I usually do the bottom first. But so I'm feeling like, back a little bit. Trying to look at it from every direction, but I am feeling like that this is pretty covered. Seem like I don't mind that brown being there. I don't necessarily want the brush strokes. Smearing it with my finger. Has a wonderful effect. Missing some back here. Touch this up a little bit. Okay, that's came out very orange for the brown spectrum, but it's all right. I'm gonna try to use the rest of it up on this real quick, just so it gets used and some of the colors will match. Try to take the brown tones and like dab them on all of the pieces. Like usually I try to save that when I'm doing the terrain for a whole board or the texture for a whole board. I usually try to save that and do that all at once with all of them so that I don't mess up the way that, you know, the browns so they match. But I use this other technique now where it's like I just keep putting different layers of different browns on everything so they match in the fact that they don't match. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like this already has some brown on it. But it was way too transparent, so all that really means is that I need to mix up another brown, which I will do here shortly. So, mix up more colors, huh? My favorite part. I just got my 3 prime colors with a little bit of yellow ochre in here too. The other thing about mixing paints is that I love is that I get to see kind of my mistakes from mixing earlier. Like obviously this one brown that I was using just a minute ago had or it didn't have enough blue in it and I kind of knew that because I'm running out of blue and I was trying to be sparing with it. But this is basically the last step on all of these, so besides going back and trying to fix anything that I add any details or something, but I feel like I'm going to do that after I'm completely finished with everything. In fact, that might be something that I come back to. And when I say like more details, I mean like maybe some graffiti, some wanted posters, some, make it feel like it's lived in a little bit. Crank through this as quick as I can. Looking pretty good. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to do the next part of this build on live stream. I think I'm going to try to keep it kind of a surprise. So, I mean, if you know me personally, I might have mentioned it maybe if we started talking about Sure Ink, but as far as like putting it out there in the world, I'm not going to do that until I have something that I can actually say until I have something tangible, because right now I only have ideas, and until I make those ideas reality, talking about it isn't going to do anything. It's not going to help me achieve it. So, I am therefore kind of trying to brainstorm other ideas for maybe keeping the live stream thing going. I got another project lined up for it. We'll see how. It won't be like a scratch build or anything. And so we'll see how that plays out. I'm gonna lift you guys. Oh no, I ain't lifting you guys up. You guys are. This building is pretty tall, so I'm gonna show you. I'm just coloring this in. So yeah, if there's any ideas, or if you guys want to see anything in particular, you want me to do more of the scratch builds, if you felt like that was the best part of the live stream, if you're enjoying the painting, I'm just gonna keep throwing ideas at this until some, until I can actually see some sort of calculation with it, because right now I can't. Like, I also kind of just do it on my own time. So, just trying to get all this texture that's everywhere. Trying to get some paint on it. Trying to get all this on the walls, on all these platforms. When you're throwing texture down, you're like, oh yeah, oh, more texture. And then when you're trying to paint it up, you're like, man, I really put texture everywhere, didn't I? All I was doing there was I got a little extra, too much brown on the top here of that pipe, and it basically just made the whole pipe look brown. So I just took another brush with some water on it and rinsed the brown kind of down off of it. It kind of gave it a wash, which isn't a bad thing. The washes kind of build up. So. Just do that with the rest of this brown. And really kind of just, because the transparent nature of it when you water it down is pretty cool. It doesn't dry as strong as it goes on, so then you end up having like whatever your base color is, just skewed slightly in this other color. And I think it's actually one of the best ways to make like dirty over overgrown, dirty type of thing. Alright, so just real quick, I'm gonna slide back to this one. A little bit more water on my palette. I'm just gonna do some more of this, just trying to tone down the red in this one a little bit. I don't mind it so much because the other thing that I want to do after all of this is washed and dried and all that stuff is pigment powder as well. So all right, well, that is not want to live in there. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this stream, simply because I can hear the animals all getting upset above me, so I'm going to go feed them and probably have some breakfast and then come back and stream again. I meant to stream more yesterday, but real life got in the way of all the things that I put off because of the weekend. All came back to haunt me, but I don't really have anything planned today, so I'm just gonna stream. I want to try to get these done as much as possible, but that also means that I have to let them dry a little bit so they're tacky in between, so taking a break isn't a bad thing. I'm gonna go set these both right in front of the dehumidifier, and then I'll probably come back in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You have a great one, Campaign Terrain. Always good talking to you, bud. But yeah, if you want, oh, that was, I don't know what I just touched my face with, but it was horrible. Gross. If you hit the notification bell, I think it dings you when I go live. I don't know if it does. If not, you can watch my Instagram story feed. I try to post before I go. I haven't figured out when, where, what, why, how with the live stream yet. But I am enjoying it. That's why I keep doing it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Yeah, other than that, I'll see you probably back in an hour.